Hey, it's Enrico Pallazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Look who it is. It's the 3 dudes, me, Britton Allan, and Mike Virginia. His first show since he created another child. How'd you do it, Mike?
Great job. The prodigal son has returned, gentlemen. I am back, at least this one episode. So,
day by day, we take it one day at a time, Mike.
That's really what it is, man.
Yes!
I love it. I love having you back here, Mike. And me and Britton, none of us have done a show together since the baseball season ended, and even before that, because we kind of wrapped it up. Britton did a show recently with Sarah Sanchez. You guys can check that out as well. Please do on our YouTube channel or pod feed. But we wanted to get on and just talk about the season that was. I called it Fantasy Baseball Lessons, what we learned this year, but really it's just about kind of a review, things that went right, things that didn't go right, or whatever the hell comes to mind here over the next hour. So please jump in the live chat. Take advantage of it. The Pallazzo Podcast is here.
Utah,
serve you.
give me 2.
Britton, how are you feeling now that we're in the midst of the playoffs? The World Series was just finalized last night. And do you have baseball fever, or are you in football mode?
I'm taking a little break. Obviously, I'm getting excited about the World Series and that. Sorry, Mariners, was rooting for you, but so yeah, I've been really enjoying the playoffs, but I haven't done like any start for any drafts. I haven't done any early drafts or anything like that, and I'm still recovering from losing or coming in second in the Pallazzo new league, where I lost the lead on the last day of the season. The last day. Yes.
Oh,
I had been in first for 2 months, and then the team that ended up winning it did some pretty smart stuff and ended up beating me. But
smart guy stuff.
So I was literally distraught. But I'm over it now. So what about you guys?
You okay, Mike? You gonna be all right?
Yeah,
he's gonna be
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
I'm probably more so geared in football mode right now. I'll be honest. I am going to watch a World Series though, but football. Chargers, go! Surprisingly, I'm doing really well in all my leagues right now. Like I'm in 6.
Why is that surprising? You're the man.
Because you usually have like 1 or 2 leagues where you just catch bad luck or bad breaks, and I'm doing really well in all of them. I came back in my home league. I'm starting to climb the ladder a little bit. So, and you know what? You know why? Because I've been checking out the show for fantasy football. So if you guys aren't checking that out, you guys need to. Highly entertaining, which, by the way, I'm going to give a shout out to Go real quick. The soundboard, just chef's kiss, just like creative as shit, just awesome shows. So watch them every time you do them.
It's like you're the producer of the Wacky FM radio show every morning.
Hey, Zoo Crew, we got the Gator and the Lunatic.
Free beer and hot wings with you on your drive into work.
Cocaine and Hawaiian shirts at 6 a.m. That's what I bring to the table. Thanks, Mike. Football show. Actually, right after the show, I will be doing the football show, Tuesday Night Waiver Wire live chat. So check that out after this is over. But in the meantime, this is baseball's time. Now, look, nobody's heard from me much on baseball other than maybe a couple complaints on the football show. My Tigers lost in the ALDS in a heartbreaking, not even heartbreaking. I was telling Britton before we went live, it was a nightmare. It was 15 innings in Game 5. I don't know if you caught the game at all, Mike, back then when the Mariners faced the Tigers in a grueling affair where no one could get a goddamn run home. There was a lot of base runners in the extra innings, but this was the most inept, clutch-hitting performance I've witnessed watching it live in real time in many, many moons. And I think the Tigers got what they deserved. I really did.
Was that the Jorge Polanco walk-off?
No, that was another game, but he got to Scooble the night before that. There's nothing memorable about it. It was 15 innings of trash. Nobody got a hit. Nobody could score. And finally, they brought in Tommy Kahnle to just end it because they knew if they brought in Tommy Kahnle that they would finally lose. And they did. And we were all happy. I was watching with a bunch of buddies. I was actually on a weekend getaway trip. So it was like the perfect setup. Game 5, Friday night. Like 20 dudes watching a Tigers game. What could you ask for? That's a great setup. But by 1 a.m., we were just exhausted. We were miserable. Like, end this thing. End this game. I'm not kidding. That's kind of how we felt. I know it sounds crazy, but I was glad it was over. So that's where I'm at.
15 innings with ghost runners. And Like, how does that?
I wish there was. I wish there was Ghost Rider. That would have been sweet.
Bummer.
But yeah, it was a rough night. Chad's in the live chat. My immediate takeaway for this season was how right we were about two generational single category monsters in Chandler Simpson and Nick Kurtz. Those guys both. Nick Kurtz. Look, I didn't spend big money on Nick Kurtz. I didn't go big on the Fab run, and he ended up having just a massive season. Did any of you guys have him in any of your leagues? Were you able to draft or add him?
Yeah, I added him and 1 or 2 leagues. Still didn't get me to anything. I had actually a really good season here, guys. Really quick, I finished second in my dynasty league. Second in my dynasty league after finishing dead last. I sold picks. I sold players. I built back up my team. Made it to the championship the following year. It's funny because the guy that's in my dynasty league who started it, he watches the show. He sent me a screenshot of my Twitter page. He's like, "Dude, is this you?" I was like, "Yeah, I thought you knew that."
Famous.
My
Busted.
My team name is Mike Virginia too. So he was like, "I just didn't put 2 and 2 together." But anyways, had a good season. I second, third, fourth. Like, I had a pretty decent season. I won some money. So, but back to Nick Kurtz. I had him in one league. The 36 home runs in the limited games that he played at, like, I've seen a lot of rankings where he's the first baseman off the board. Do you guys think that the ceiling is even higher for Nick Kurtz going into year 2, or do we think he regresses a little bit?
Oh, that's a great question. Where are they playing? Are they back in? They're back in Sacramento for
another year.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And the Tampa Bay they're going back to their old stadium. Like, the Trop has been remade technically, right? But
I'll have to check on that. Is that a done deal?
I think so. But we know that Kurtz is back in Sacramento. Love it. Power hitter in that little ballpark. I think he's going to, have another good year. I don't think there's any reason to think that he's not. But with that rookie stuff, it's like you see it year after year after year. It's like Gunnar Henderson, like all these breakout Jackson Merrill. All these can't hit, bust out players. They more often than not they hit that rookie or that sophomore wall. What do you think, Govier? Any truth to that?
Crazy. I can't believe, guys, Nick Kurtz had a 170 WRC plus. That's MVP level good. 170. That's a huge number for those that WRC plus is like OPS plus, depending on where you go. I'm going to say my immediate assumption next year is he'll slip a bit just because it's year 2. Baseball's it's a tough thing to adapt to, a full baseball season. Rookies, even when they're playing the minors, they don't really get the full tilt experience. They might get a little run here at this level, go up to another level. There's some breaks along the way. So I'm sure he'll be good, but I will expect him to have a little bit of a regression in year 2 because it's just how it works, man. Unless he defies all the odds and says, "I am a god and no one can stop me."
Great job.
So.
Well, here's the thing. There's the reason why I bring it up as well, is like, you're going to have to pay a heavy draft price to get him, right? And then we're talking about the sophomore slump.
Second round.
Do you really want to be on the other side of, if he really turns into God Kurtz and he ends up just dropping like 60 nukes? Do you want to be on the other side of like, damn it, I wish I had bought that?
Is there that big a difference between him and Pete Alonso? I mean,
to me, no.
Maybe batting average, maybe, but I'm not clear that's official yet. We'll see how that develops. That'd be the only thing I would say, but that's not clear right now. And also, Star Platinum saying 31% K rate from Kurtz last year. When they learn more how to pitch him in 2026, it's going to be a problem, most likely, but he might also get better.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm true.
I don't know if I'm going to be paying the draft price to get him. To Britton's point, I'd rather just take Pete Alonso or Vlad Guerrero Jr. later in drafts, and knowing that I'm going to get a proven commodity. We got to find out where Pete Alonso goes. Which
Give me back my son!
That's
Exactly,
Steve Cohen. He wants his son. He wants his polar bear son back.
Give me back my son!
he's not going to get 7. He's not going to get 7 years, but he deserves his bag, guys. Like, I don't care the age. He deserves his money.
Where the bag at? He does, absolutely.
He does.
Star Platinum says, here's the first lesson. 7 out of the top 10 teams had Scooble or Crochet. And the team that came in first had Wheeler. He's talking about in the main event, which is an NFBC, big deal, $1,800 buy-in, wow, that's really interesting. 7 out of the top 10 teams had Scooble or Crochet.
I agree with that. That's one of my takeaways, too. The teams where I drafted Scooble or Skeens, obviously you didn't draft them in both the same league and drafting holds. Those are the teams that I was the most competitive with. Like, so this year, and I did it on purpose last year, and I'm going to do it again. Is I'm drafting Scooble in the first round to see how that works out. And I'm drafting Skeens too, because I mean, when you have like a 2.1 ERA over 190 innings or whatever it was, maybe even better than that, like it stabilizes your entire, pitching ERA and all. It's so good for that I think that's 100%. Because it's not sexy or fun. Like, oh, I want to draft, Nick Kurtz in the second round, or some hot player, or I'm going to draft Cal Raleigh with the last pick in the first round or something like that. When you sit there and you hit click on, Skeens or Crochet or one of those big three, I think I have to have one in every single league. What do you think, Mike V?
See, and I'm with you, because like I think I'm going to be changing my tune here a little bit. And this is the thing with a good segue to what I learned is you got to learn to pivot here, guys. Like I used to go into drafts thinking, no way I'm drafting SP in the first round. Again, I play a lot of head-to-head cat leagues, which I'm changing on that up as well.
The Pallazzo pod.
Thank you for that. I think I'm leaning towards that too, because it is like the teams that in Star Platinum already said it, right? Like I would love to have a Zach Wheeler. I know he got hurt. I would love to have a Paul Skeens, a Tarek Skubal. Those guys absolutely dominated. And if you had any of them on your teams, it was a set it and forget it type thing. And I feel like hitting is very deep going into drafts next year, guys. I don't know if I think there's a good tier of SP elite aces, Skeens and Skubal, and then there's a drop off. I'm not saying it's a huge one, but it's big enough where I'd rather have one of those two guys on my team in the first round if I can get one of them, and get a hitter in the next. So,
well, as far as the depth and the lessons we learned, folks. By the way, jump in with your lessons or thoughts about this year in the live chat, and make sure you subscribe, like the video, blah, blah, blah. So follow @_Mike VA. He's still around. He's still doing his thing. So glad to see your face again. Of course, Britton Allan, 2 T's, 2 L's.
Utah.
Robbie Baseball, Big
Give me
Gentleman,
2.
Sam Wershing, et cetera, et cetera. Discord's free, the link is in the description. Pitching there were some major finds this year, and I'm more than ever now thinking that I can find starting pitching and ride the wave. The Adrian Hauser, the Jansen Junk, the Eric Lauer, what he did for those Blue Jays. But now he's not even, I don't know if he ended up getting hurt or what. He doesn't even exist on that team in the World Series. But I think there's a lot of situations where you can find pitchers because they're going to get hurt. One thing we know, man, pitcher injuries. That's the other thing, too, for me. I'm done. I said this late in the season, mid-season. I'm done trying to take a shot on returning Tommy John starters. I'm not doing that anymore. Anybody who's like, yeah, okay, good. I think we're all in agreement on this. Britton, you agree with this too?
Oh, no, I never draft injured.
He was Britton's the OG. I'm not drafting guys
100%.
Tommy John.
Absolutely.
It's so true too, because we saw some glimpses and flashes of guys coming back from Tommy John, but for the most part, they were extremely inconsistent, got shelled. And it's not to say these guys aren't good, but I think it really does take a solid year to a year and a half to kind of get your wings back underneath you and return to that. And the other point of it too is there is a real possibility that these guys never return to what they were pre Tommy John. So, are you guys going to be in or out on guys like Shane McClanahan next year? Yuri Perez?
No way!
Those guys.
I'm like the ultimate anti-McClanahan guy. I told everybody, no, that thing is messed up. Stay away.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. These guys were elite talents when they were pitching, but now that they got hurt, it makes you start scratching your head now with other guys that are going to be coming back. And again, I guess it all really matters, and we say it every year during draft season. It matters where you're drafting them at and where you get them at and what the rest of your build looks like. So at some time, maybe it looks like it's, hey, I'll take a chance on this guy and see what happens because I already built up a good enough pitching staff. But Britton, going into draft season next year, are you in on some of the guys that you weren't in on this year, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it does. I think I'm going to try to draft Crochet, Skeens, Paul Skeens, or Skubal, and then, draft very, regular, Francisco Lindor, just 30-30 reliable guys, and then, try for SP2 like Yamamoto, Christopher Sanchez. We also need to talk about lefty pitchers. Was this the year of the lefty starting pitcher? I think it was. It was.
Let's do right here. Rodon, Snell, Joe Ryan, Max Fried.
Reagan's, yeah.
Reagan's was hurt, but Chris Sale, of course, and yeah, the top two, Scooble and Crochet. Absolutely. I think there's a case for that. And I think there's a case for a lot of opportunity to find between these names the guy who's going to rise up when the guy gets hurt too. So I like your idea here. I think after this is something I was telling Britton before we went on the show too, Mike. The lockout is coming.
Yep.
Not trying to bum you out, but we are absolutely having a work stoppage after next season. So I remember doing this. We've been doing this show for a while, man. So back in the last one, was it 2022 when we had that showdown, which lasted 40 days, maybe something like that, 30 days in the off season, not during the regular season. But it's a big deal, and it's going to impact who's available, who's going to sign where, who gets traded, who doesn't. There's a lot of interesting conversations to be had around the lockout. Now, I don't want to think about it too much, but it is coming. And let's cherish the season we got coming in the meantime and think about all of these options we have when it comes to studs and duds. And for me, I love to talk about a guy named Spencer Schwellenbach. Like, he was hurt last year. So coming back this year, he didn't have Tommy John. But how do you rate a guy like that, Mike? Do you have any idea right now? Or is it too early to know?
Too early to know for me, but I was a big Schwellenbach going into the season, and I luckily got out from underneath of him and traded him away in one of my leagues that I had him in, or two of my leagues that I had him in before he got hurt and was out for the season, which was good. But I love the talent, but we've seen a solid year from him, and then we saw an injured year from him. So who knows what we get in year 3 of Spencer Schwellenbach. The team also, guys, like the Braves were very disappointing to me this year. And I know you guys will agree with me on that, but I mean, and I know Acuna is coming back from injury, but there's a plethora of talent on this team that just did not produce outside of injuries. I mean, we're talking about the guys who are like, I had high expectations for the Braves to bounce back. It was a lot of the same from the years prior. So I don't know what to think of Spencer Schwellenbach. You see here, if you're watching us on YouTube, 309 ERA, 0.97 whip, like real solid.
Still got 110 innings, which is surprising to me. I guess I lost track of that.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be in or out on any Braves pitchers. That's going to be something I'm going to have to research big time going into draft season on whether or not I'm going to be in on any of them, including Ronald Acuna. But Bretton, what do you think? Are you in or out or on Spencer Schwellenbach or any Braves for that matter?
I am, especially if you went Skeen, Scooble, or Crochet in the beginning of your draft. Then that's the perfect situation because you've got that solid anchor, so you can kind of take a shot on somebody like Schwellenbach. But if your first SP1 is like Hunter Green, who's a great pitcher, or Yamamoto, also a great pitcher, like you can't like take that chance. I don't think just because. You don't. You have a talented pitcher, but maybe not as proven. But I love beating this dead horse because you take Scooble, and then like later you get like Cam Schlittler. Schlitter's full.
The Schlitz.
I love it when the Schlitter's full.
We all do.
Yeah. So and then you take a chance on that, or like Trey Savage, or Emmett Sheehan from the Dodgers. It just kind of frees you up. To maybe reach a little bit on those guys, Mizrowski, and sorry, but so that was kind of my plan. There is one thing I would love to ask you guys. I want to get your opinion. Okay, so here's what I kind of wrote down as like first round, like you've got Ohtani, Judge, Witt, Soto, Jose Ramirez, Ellie De La Cruz in some order. Where do you put Kyle Raleigh in that order? He hit 60 MFing home runs last year, 110 runs, 125 RBIs with a 250 average, 14 stolen bases. I mean, that's all first round numbers, right? Like, plus you add in there the consideration that he's a catcher, which is by far the hardest position to fill with anybody good. Because if you don't, because let's say you skip it and you draft like Yanir Diaz, who might hit 20 home runs, like he might. It's like you've just get such a big advantage. What do y'all think about Kyle Raleigh? Mike Govier, what do you think?
Mike, you're with me, right? I mean, there's no way. We're not getting this again. That's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that. There's no way I'm taking him in the first round. I'll let somebody else take him. I'm not saying that he won't be good next year, but there's
no
career year from Raleigh. I'm not. He's very well could hit 30, 40 home runs again next year.
Sure.
And that's probably because he's been that consistent since he's been in the league. But to hit anywhere near 60 again, I think is going to be a long shot. And I hope I'm wrong because it was so much fun to watch for baseball too. But fantasy wise, I'm not touching him in the first round.
He's a catcher. It's exhausting. Even he is not immune to the exhaustion of it. And it just seems to me like it's so tailor-made. But then again, Aaron Judge, I thought would come back. I thought the injuries would creep up. But he keeps doing otherworldly things. And speaking of main events, my main event team would have loved to have had Aaron Judge. I finished 5th in my main event. 5th. And I could have won that league if I had more power. I was second to last in home runs in that category. So if I just had 30 more dongs, I would have been right there in the mix to win my main event league this year. That cost me big time. So power is important, and I need to take stock of guys like Raleigh and Judge and see them as not flukes. These are guys who can crank massive dongs. Now, where I take them, Judge obviously could do everything. He gives you a bunch of it all. I just don't know that Raleigh will be able to hit 50 dongs again, but if Judge is doing it, Raleigh is in the prime of his life. Shit. Maybe it's worth it, because if that's such an advantage against the next catcher, like Britton stated, though there are a lot of catchers I like, there's a lot of fun catchers to pick at for 2026. Yeah. If only one guy won a league for people. Raleigh was the difference maker for so many different people. You talk about Crochet and Scuba, what they did, but Raleigh was a huge X factor.
Well, you make a really really good point. If you're in the middle of your league with home runs, you're not winning that league. You're just not. But you have to be like top 3 in home runs and everything that goes along with that, I think, in order to win the league. If you're in the middle of the league in stolen bases, you can still win the league. But I think you're right, Govier. You have to be one of the top home run hitting teams to win your league. What do you think, Mike V?
Yeah, well, this is another question I want to pose back to you, though. Like, if let's just say Raleigh is being drafted at the late end of the first round, that's kind of where, or the back third of the first round, it's standard 12 team or 15 team. Isn't that kind of where some of your pitchers that you just talked about are going to go? So, like, if the clock's on you and one of your 3 SPs is there plus Raleigh, which one are you taking?
That's a great question. I'd probably do SP, just because Kyle Raleigh. The one danger is. Have you looked at his plate appearances last year? It was over 700 in regular season, and then you tack on postseason, 759 plate appearances for a switch hitting catcher. I mean, that's the most in Major League Baseball history. Now, 59 of those, obviously, or however many of those, 50 of those were in the postseason, but still, I mean, he's 28 years old. He's a young guy, but I mean, that's kind of scary with that many plate appearances for a pitcher. But of course, pitchers are even scarier. You know what I mean? So, but
sure,
But Tariq Skibble's trying to get paid, man. Right? Yeah, I think.
Great job.
Yeah. So I'm taking
trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
I'll pose that question back to you, though. I don't know if you heard that question I asked.
I did.
What are you doing there? Like, if you're on the clock and you have Raleigh plus 2 of Scooble, Crochet, and Paul Skeens. You're taking the chance on Raleigh, or are you taking the chance on an elite SP, like one of those 3?
If I'm listening to what I just said to myself, that I need to make the adjustment, then I should actually consider taking Raleigh very early, because I have to learn that power lesson. I mean, Chad was saying here that you can punt home runs and RBIs pretty easily. Let's clarify. We're talking about roto versus head-to-head. These are all very different things. So when Britton says you can't win without, being in the middle of a pack of homers, that's for roto, right? Obviously, that's volume. But head-to-head, you can punt certain categories. You're not going to punt home runs in head-to-head either. I don't know what I'm going to do. I am concerned right now about how to handle this Raleigh thing, because it's going to be such a talking point all offseason long and during draft season in 2026. We're all going to be talking about, oh, my God, Cal Raleigh, this is amazing. He can't do it again. Aaron Judge has proven otherwise, and they're in the similar age range, and everything matches up except for a few factors. And plus, who's in that lineup next year as well? Like Josh Naylor, Eugenio Suarez, gone? Coming back?
Yeah, they're gone. I think.
Yeah, they're free agents.
I think Suarez will get us back.
They've got to sign Naylor back, don't they? Naylor, I barely know her.
Naylor's such a dick, man. He's such a dick, Britton. Last night I'm watching that game when he jumped
got hit
up
on the head. How is that?
I know he jumped up to do it. He's such a douchebag. I love it. He is such a red ass. No one's been a red ass like this since Randy Johnson, the ultimate red ass. This guy is just a supreme red fucking ass, and I love it. I do love
Ironically,
it.
he's from Canada.
He is. Yeah, the Naylor brothers living it up, living large. But in the live chat, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, real quick. Since we're talking about like draft real quick and like the first round, I pray to God that I get like one of the top 4 picks because there's so many guys that I like. Like obviously I love Ohtani and Aaron Judge, but like I know we talked about him before, Britton, and I'm interested to hear your take on this because we talked about Jose Ramirez kind of regressing a little bit and he's not doing it again.
44 steals?
Dude had an incredible year. 30 home runs, 44 stolen bases, 282, and scored 103 runs. Like this is another guy that I think deserves to go
and a shit offense.
Yeah,
top
exactly.
5 player. Yeah,
he really is. Like he's a stud, and I hope to God I get Jose Ramirez shares next year because I love him.
That's a great point. I think the only thing holding him back is that he plays third base, and you can.
Yeah,
I want Junior Caminero next year. That's one of my targets, and I know that's going to be a target for a lot of people. And I know they're going back to the Tropicana or whatever the hell they call it now.
Yeah,
but
what a year he had.
Junior Caminero is going to have a blast-off season. He is one of the most talented power hitters. He's like Yordan Alvarez-ish, except younger, and his knees don't suck, So
or his hands.
So that's kind of my thing is that I'm already thinking about the players that I'm going to target. So that's why I would probably pass on Jose Ramirez. Not obviously he's very deserving, but I've got to get Junior Caminero because I think he's going to hit 50 or 60 home runs. And Jose Ramirez, he's going to get you 30, but Junior Caminero has a real breakout Nick Kurtz on drugs type of season in him. So it
was a kind of quiet but amazing. You're right. Yeah. It was. I mean, I wish I had more Caminero and I didn't, and
he's
I had to live with that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, he's going to get better.
Here's one. Don't draft Bohm. That's for me. That's for anybody. Don't draft. No more Bohm. I agree. Star Platinum. I know. I've been a fan, and it cost me. He was on that main event team that was just farting around with Bohm all season long. Then he got hurt, got hit in the ribs. It was all of a nightmare. Star also says the guy who won my main had Raleigh and Ohtani. He meant. Sorry, buddy. I don't know why you made that mistake, but you clarified it. Punt home run is for Sissy, says F. F is here. What's up, F? Good to see you.
F?
And Anthony says, if the 94 Expos had won the World Series, would they still be in Canada? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I locked that in. Yeah. There's a great Expos doc. Is it out yet on Netflix? Have you seen it? Is it out yet?
No. I got to watch it. I don't get any time to do anything, guys. So
yeah, Mike, quick little corner. How's it been, man? How's it been?
Britton will hopefully agree with me on this. Having 2 kids is infinitely harder than having one. I don't care how easy your babies are. And it's not the fact that she's a hard baby. It's just you're playing man to man now as opposed to zone, right? So, while the other one's taking a piss and a shit all over my floor, I got another one pooping on my wife, and then coordinating bath time and dinner, and it's been fun. I will say, it's been a little bit different, but we're starting to sleep a little bit better, which is good. So,
it's important. It sounds like maybe
So you better run a check.
Gotta run a check, right? Make sure your kids are in bed. Make sure everything's good to go 24/7. Yeah, Britton, that sounds like a lot of work. Do you have any advice for Mike now that he's in it?
It goes by real fast, Mike V. I know you hear that from everybody. It goes by real fast, but my kids now are 12 and 9, and it's happened like that. So this too shall pass. But yeah, that's my only advice. Enjoy every second of it, because next thing you know. They're teenagers talking about 7 and that kind of shit. And you're like, oh, I remember when you were a cute little baby.
Shut up,
really
Dad.
Quick.
Shut
really
up, Dad.
Quick.
Fuck you, Dad. What?
I've been told
my kids are awesome, but
At work yesterday, I got told by 2 different people, you look really tired. I made a tweet about this too. You look really tired is just a nice way of saying you look like shit. I haven't been sleeping. I have to be at work at like 5 o'clock in the morning, guys. So like, I'm like,
oh my God,
what's up?
Wow.
I still got sleepies in my eyes. So
Your dad is a moron. He's a moron. You know what a moron is? That's what your dad is.
This is what you
That went
got.
longer than I thought it would.
Hey, Mike V, I never drank a cup of coffee until we had kids, and now now I can't imagine life without it. So,
Oh yeah,
coffee.
It's in my veins, man. Like I just can't get away from drinking it. Like as an IV of coffee hooked up to me right now as we speak.
Also, any denial here? Ohtani had the greatest single performance in the history of Major League Baseball, right?
No.
100% agree. 100%
Right.
agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
There's
even
no
the
debate.
best player of all time.
Yeah.
There's no debate. 3 home runs and struck out 10 in an
Major League.
NLCS game, a playoff game. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, good.
He essentially beat them by himself. He's the best player of all time. It's not close.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is. Lock it in. I love it. Thank you. I love the clarity we're getting from Mike Virginia here. Pallazzo Podcast 2Ls Tuesday. Here's live. We're talking about things that happened this year, what we learned. How about this? Did the ballpark changes at Camden Yards this year impact? And if so, how much was the impact? Any noticeable change with them? They moved the fence again, Mike. Did you see any changes that you felt impacted fantasy?
Not really. I mean, hitting the left field sucks in Camden Yards now. That still sucks. I know they moved the fence in a little bit, but you still got to get a hold of it to get it out of there. If you're a left-handed hitter hitting in at Camden Yards, phenomenal, because you can hit it out of that short porch. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in the O's this year. Obviously, I know they were interviewing Pujols, but Gunnar was not as advertised. We had him in the first round. Huge disappointment for me. Solid season. Just not the season we saw from him in years past. So
that's killed me. He killed me. That my main event, my first 2 picks on my main were Gunnar and Mookie. And I have no other Mookie ever. The 1 year I draft Mookie Betts, he has his worst season maybe in his career. So really hurt.
Did you guys see the reports of the O's are going to be like the most aggressive team in regards to going after starting pitching?
Bullshit.
I'll believe that one.
Kyle Gibson again? Kyle Gibson part 2? Right?
Jack Flaherty again. We'll go out and get him.
Britton, do you think we overestimated or underestimated the Tampa Bay and Oakland parks this year? Did you think you gauge it properly looking back now?
I think we Goldilocks it, baby. We Goldilocks it. Last year we brought it up at first pitch, and by the way, first pitch Arizona. Shout out Brent Hershey and Ray Murphy.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, baby. Looking forward to it. I hope that anybody, obviously, if you're booked, you're going. But please, please say hello and please come to our live podcast.
Yeah. We got some doozies brewing.
Feud. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday. It's going to be a great day. But no, I think we nailed it. I mean, power hitters had great seasons, and I think it was a big boost.
I agree. I think we were pretty solid on there, and the offense was legit. There was a bump, absolutely, for both teams in Tampa and Oakland. I think looking back, some of the guys, Michael Harris II. What's the lesson for you guys here with this? Because in case you were not paying attention this year, he had a hellish run for really till the All-Star break. Yeah. And then he finally came alive, and he really came alive, and he ends up having a 2020 season. So in 2026, Michael Harris, you excited, or are you like, well, I don't know what to expect anymore?
It's my thing back with the Braves, right? Like I got to do a little bit more digging, and like I want to say they're going to be back next year, but like I don't know if I have high hopes for it. With Michael Harris, though, this is something very interesting, and we talked about it with Matt Shaw of the Cubs. These guys make adjustments. They're hitters. Michael Harris changed his hand positioning and his stance later in the season and started to have a little bit better of a run there. If you guys remember, he went on a pretty hot stretch. So mechanically something was up, right? And he had to adjust back to the league. The league will obviously adjust back to him. I don't know where his ADP is going to be at, but I think people are still going to be riding high on that, the Luis Robert effect, I guess, Britton, with Michael Harris.
Still
nailed that one, Britton. Nailed it.
Yeah. 2020, 86 RBIs. Like, I think I'm in on him. Depending on where his draft is. Like, it's hard to find outfielders that are this consistent. I mean, hopefully he scores more runs and improves his spot in the lineup. I'd like to see him hit like in the upper third. Ozzie Albies is trash. He can go to his lower half now.
Wow.
I'm out on Albies. I think I'm in on Harris. What about you, Britton?
I'm out. I'm out on Albies. No more. And Michael Harris, it's just so volatile. I'm not in on him. There's so many other outfielders that it's not like I'm against it, but there's so many other outfielders that I like. I also kind of like the idea to buy low on Jackson Merrill. You're going to get him at a huge discount this year.
Oh, for sure.
I'm 100% doing that. Here's another one. I'm saying never again, no matter how many drinks, no matter how lonely I am, no matter how late or early in the morning it is.
Yep.
I'm not booty calling Kyle Tucker. No, I don't
Done.
care where he goes.
Even when he's in Dodger blue?
I don't care. I'm done.
Spoken like a true
I'm out.
asshole.
His calf, his hips lie. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Kyle Tucker, but I'm done.
Here's another one. Look at this one right here, Anthony. This is a big one on this show.
But he had that great spring training game, remember?
Why?
I'm all in on Matt McClain.
You're all in?
Lock me in, baby.
What? Oh my God!
Yes.
No way!
Hear me out.
All right, okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to be drafting him as like my starting second baseman, shortstop, or wherever his position eligibility is at. I think he's a nice bench bat, and I think his draft price is going to be extremely cheap for a guy that plays in a really good ballpark, pretty good lineup. If he can, and again, we talked about it already on the show with injuries, guys. I mean, he was injured a lot last year. He had a lot going on. The numbers are not good. We can see it on the screen. 15, 18, 220, K rate close to 30%.
Yeah.
Hard hit metrics weren't very good with him either. But at the same time, too, his draft price is going to be pretty cheap, and I'd be willing to take a chance on him for sure. As a bench spot, not necessarily as a starter, but as a bench spot, and hope and pray to God that he returns on value. So he might be
talk this man out of this.
He might be a guy that you can draft, and he comes out and balls like Bo Bichette did or Trevor Story did, right? And
Trevor Story, Mike's hot pick of the year right there. Mike's put that on your forehead, Mike. Tattoo Trevor Story is good on your forehead because you nailed that one all the way.
Yeah.
And I do love the idea of buying low on players like who we know have talent like McClain, but his problem is just injuries, though, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So
I don't know though. I don't know if it's just injuries. That's what I need to know. He still had almost 600 plate appearances. Whether he was hiding injuries and battling through them is a different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something we need.
Yeah, I think that's.
Were there any other players that y'all can think of? Like Jackson Merrill had a down season by the previous season. What about James Wood? Are y'all willing to?
I love it.
He had like a great month or two, and then just freaking stunk. For a long time. I mean, yeah. So
I believe in the talent there. I'm all in on Wood. I will happily take Wood on my team and bank on that talent, taking it up another notch. It also depends on what they're looking at with their new regime and a new focus. They shut out, got rid of the manager, got rid of the GM. Rizzo's gone, Davey Martinez gone. It's a new day there. So we'll see how that all plays out. And I love the Nats this year. I think we all talked about the Nats a lot, right, Britton? We loved the Nats, and they didn't really give us the return offensively that we had hoped for this year, especially him, Luis Garcia. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I loved. I shouldn't speak for y'all. I loved Luis Garcia Jr. for the season. It's like you're getting you're getting batting average. You're getting 280 batting average. You're going to get 20-20. And
another man in my main event who let me down. I kept waiting, and I was uber patient. I got to change. I got to get off some of these guys. But it kind of makes me think about what Mike's talking about here. Mike want to talk about some guys that we're staying away from in drafts. So in 2026, Mike, do you have some off the top of your head you want to share with us?
That sucks because I'm the one who put it in our private chat that I wanted to talk about our fades. I'm with
That's fine. You
I'm with
go
Britton.
first.
I'm with Britton. I'm out on Kyle Tucker. I want nothing to do with him. It's always something with that man. I don't know what it is. I was a big Kyle Tucker guy. I wanted him so badly. Even when Dusty Baker was there, like he wasn't hitting high up in the order. I don't care if he goes to Dodger blue. I'm out. That's probably the most glaring one for me. Is anybody?
If he's a Dodger, I'm more interested, and I've never been interested. But if he's a Dodger, I'm interested. I am.
I agree.
But why though? Just lineup context, or because like those things that we're talking about are still going to exist with the Dodgers. Like
but I just think it's injuries. I think he's better than that. I think if he's healthy, he's a good player, and if he's in that lineup, it just exacerbates his potential to be even better. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but I'm more interested. That's all I said.
Yordan Alvarez, that's another guy that I'm completely out on. Fuck that guy. Don't want anything to do with him.
You waited on that guy all year, Mike.
All year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Had nothing to do with him.
Waiting for the updates all season long. Yep. Yeah, I get how you feel on that one. Michael Busch had a good year. He cracked 30 dongs this year. says F. Is that a guy that you're buying in Britain this year? You're like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's great, and Wrigley Field obviously it helps him. He really likes it there. Yeah, I'm in on Michael Busch. I don't think that was a fluke at all. I think he's
former Dodger.
Former
There's
Dodger.
talent there.
Exactly right. Yeah,
you're right.
Are you worried
Good
about
call.
him? Are you worried about him sitting against lefties sometimes? Because that was a thing where he had some pretty rough stretches. He got hot towards the end there too, but
yeah, that kind of evened out though towards the end of the season, didn't it?
It did,
When he started getting hot, he started to play. So
you're right.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's better to have him in a daily moves league, but I wouldn't shy away from him in the DC just because sometimes he sits. Frankly, sometimes it's better if he sits. I guess
That's true.
But at the end of the day, if you get 30 home runs from that corner infield slot, that's pretty nice.
I have this document. I do it every year. I try to stay every week. Every week I do all this crap, week to week, all season long. It's called Fantasy Baseball Confidential. I used to write that article back in the day on Fantrax, and I switched over, called it Groovin' with Govier when I was at FTN briefly, and now I just do it for myself. And I have a tab. I have a bullet. It says Lessons for 2026.
Ooh.
So I'm sure. So let's read a few. Dane Myers. Remember him?
Yes. The Marlins, right?
That's right. It was a fun moment, but he didn't really give you everything you needed. It was, you got to watch for guys when they pop. Doesn't mean they're going to stick, right? Nolan Jones. He was crushing with a hard hit rate last year, but he didn't do dick. That's a guy, Mike. I mean, are you drafting him again? I mean, or no?
No, I'm out.
Okay.
The Rockies were fun. Like we talk about it every year, and this is a Rockies podcast. If you guys are new to the show,
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Coors.
Jordan Beck. Take your love of Nolan Jones or Brenton Doyle and
Brenton Doyle.
Slice a little piece off. Like you're eating your filet mignon. Just slice a little piece off and call it Jordan Beck, and then enjoy it because I think he's gonna be a sneaky little superstar.
How about this here real quick, though? Tim says, just want to say I appreciate you guys and all the work you did all year. Really helped me have the best year of my life. Made 4 championships. Took home 3. Wow.
Congratulations.
Hell yeah, Timmy.
Good job,
Coors.
Have a Coors, man. You deserve it. Woohoo. That's awesome.
I will
Tim,
say-
I love you, man. You're the man. Thank you so much.
Going back to the what did we learn this year? Like I want to give a shout out and piggyback off this as well. We kicked ass this year, guys. With all the amount of subscribers that we got, the content that we put out, the live chat. You guys in the live chat were rock and rolling all year long.
Discord.
on all of our shows, the Discord. Like we took a big step forward this year, and I do want to recognize that. So kudos to all of the Pallazzo crew and the community that we're building.
Great job.
Yeah, thank
Love
you
it.
everybody for listening and viewing us right now. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Yukon Cornelius channel, the Discord. Yes, that was a new addition, a welcome addition this year. The Discord's always free, guys, and the link is in every description of every damn show we do. It's really easy to find, so it's a great place to talk in the off season when we're not on the air. And I am glad you said that. And thank you, Tim. Tim's been with the show.
Yes,
Tim's been here since I started this show, so Tim's like an old school, long time Pallazzo guy who's stuck with us through and through, and I love that. So thank you, Tim. I appreciate you, brother.
May I ask you, gentlemen, a burning draft question? Sizzle hot.
It's hot on the iron skillet.
All right, pick one. Who are you drafting first? These are outfielders, obviously. Jack Centurio, Pete Crow Armstrong, or Julio Rodriguez. You only get one. Who are you going for? Again,
One more time.
Jack Centurio, the Brewers star outfielder. Pete Crow Armstrong, who broke out in a big way, and Julio Rodriguez, who everyone knows how good he is, but he had a couple not terrific years, but back to his star numbers again this year. These are players that could legitimately go 30-40 essentially, or 30-30 realistically. What do you say, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jack Centurio, or Julio Rodriguez?
Churio for me.
Michael Govier, who you got?
Churio all day for me.
Mike V. You only
Julio
get one.
Julio Rodriguez. I don't want Pete Crow Armstrong is another guy that's on my do not draft list. He was a hot start to the year. K rate was just through the roof. He fell off the table for me. So I'd go J-Rod just simply. Here's the thing with J-Rod though, you're going to have to deal with the first half of the year slump kind of thing. It's very frustrating. But man, when he comes on, it is fun to watch. And if he can figure that out and have a all around good season, we're talking about him bumping back in the top 5 picks. So
that's why Churio's the clear call, though. Here, you're talking yourself into Churio, are you not?
Yes.
Listen to what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes. No. But maybe. I don't know. I'd still rather have Julio Rodriguez. It's close, but I'd rather have Julio.
That's hilarious. I'm taking Pete Crow Armstrong, baby. What? Light the house on fire and burn it down. I don't give a fuck.
Wow, dude.
He's
Spoken like a true asshole.
Wow. I thought you loved Churio.
I do love Churio. Churio's second. Julio Rodriguez is third. So
Wow.
in some leagues, and I'm talking draft and hold leagues. In some leagues, I'm going to draft Pete Crow first. In some leagues, I'm going to draft Jackson Churio. I want both those players, but yeah, I'm taking Pete Crow Armstrong because I think everybody hates him.
Yeah.
He did. Hey guys, remember our other favorite Rocky? I know we have a lot of Rockies that are our favorite, but he was so bad. He went 25 home runs, 10 stolen bases, or something like that. Mike Toglia, first baseman for the Rockies, played so poorly he got demoted. But shall we discuss Hunter Goodman from the University of Memphis? Shout out Tigers, go Tigers!
Yep. That's right, go Tigers.
Hunter Goodman. Not to sidetrack y'all, but is he
a good call.
target? Is he a target for yours? What if you started out with Cal Raleigh and Hunter Goodman? You're looking at what? I don't know.
50, 60 home runs.
Maybe 70 home runs.
Yeah.
Not bad coming from your 2-catcher league. What do you think? Are you buying it, Mike V? Are you saying, are you going to jump back in on Hunter Goodman?
Yeah, I like him. Here's the thing, though. Like, we've seen it now. This is what scares me, is that every year, this is what I was trying to get into when we started talking about Nolan Jones, is every year we've seen a new Rocky, right? It was Nolan Jones, then it was Brenton Doyle, and now it's Hunter Goodman, right?
They're only allowed to have one good player at a time, guys.
That's right, one hitter.
So is it next year? Is it Jordan Beck? Or do we get Ezekiel Tovar? Or do we get, who's the third baseman that came up with them?
Oh, Warming Burnhamel?
No. The guy that you were in on to go.
Oh, Kyle Karros, the Karros son.
Yes.
There's a lot of them. They got all kinds of guys that they don't hit. They kind of sparkle, and then they fade away.
What was the Amador, or the shortstop? What was his name? The second baseman?
Yeah.
Amador.
He got the bat knocked out.
Here's a good one for you, Britton. And this is right tailor-made because I want to talk about this guy. Next season, would you rather have Hunter Goodman or Augustine Ramirez?
Ooh, that's a great question.
15 steals from Ramirez, I believe, this year.
I think I'm going to go Gus. I really do. I love watching Augustine Ramirez play. I think he's got some of the most upside of any catcher, and I do like Goodman. But man, that is just such a crap lineup. He had a great year, and that's awesome.
Marlins played well too. Marlins were a decent team this year.
Yeah, I think Marlins. Hey, what about some other Marlins? Jacob Marcy, flash in the pan.
Oh, there it is.
Y'all coming back around to my Marcy?
A lot of excitement there. He had a hell of a run. I'd buy it. But it's about playing time and opportunity. Remember you got what's his face coming back next year? Griffin Conine will be back in the mix. So you got to see how the roster plays out. But I assume they want to play Marcy every day.
And who was that O's hitter that came over? Oh, Mike V. I forget his name. He was an outstanding stud.
Oh my God.
What was it? What was that guy's name?
Oh
Kyle
God.
Stowers, man. Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw it coming. No one.
Mike V saw it coming.
No one.
He was a big Stowers guy.
This show loved Kyle Stowers in 2022. We have videos on this channel. You can go back and watch me and former member Phil Goyette. Shout out to Phil, great man, talking about how awesome Kyle Stowers was going to be in 2022. And I wasn't on that this year. I had no idea this was going to. He looked like he was left for dead.
Yeah. That one stings a little bit. And
it does.
He bleached his hair and went on a run. That's how.
But Trevor Rogers was good on the flip side of that. Trevor Rogers had 80 innings.
He was very good. If he can, he's not
that lefty thing.
Yeah, I don't want him to be our ace, but if he can be a 2-3 and we go out and get a frontline starter, I would love that. I would love that. To answer your question though, with the catcher wise though, I'd rather have Gus just for the steals. And I actually think the Marlins lineup guys, lock me in on this little early prediction here. Sneaky good team heading into 2026. I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on them. They got some talent. If they can stay healthy, they got Stowers, Jacob Marcy, Augustine Ramirez. The pitchers all come back and start playing well. Like there's a lot of talent on that team. Augustine Ramirez.
What about Herrera? He got hurt a couple times.
Yeah. I like him, but I like the stolen bases you get from Gus, and I think that's a big plus from the catcher position. So.
Interesting. Star says Francona doesn't want his players stealing bases for no reason. That affects Ellie and Friedel, Britain's boy, TJ Friedel, who
what up, TJ?
Had some moments. He kind of faded a little bit. I was hoping to get more out of him, but he had some moments. So if that's true, I didn't know that he was not a big fan of stealing. I hadn't heard that. Also, lesson number 2 from Star: when someone that you think is not good and they start playing good, pick them up. Grissom, Liriano, Trevor Rogers.
Liriano, help me out. Who are we talking about again?
We're talking about, is that Francisco? Are these old ones? Because he's talking about Grissom in the past, or am I stoned? Was there a guy named Grissom last year?
Marquise Grissom?
Yeah, is he talking about? Clarify that, Star. Are you talking about like old timey guys? Because okay. I was just really fascinated by that, and I wanted to know more. Also, F says deep sleeper Spencer Horwitz of the Pirates. That's a guy I like. I love that bet.
That's like feeding Govier some catnip when you bring out Horowitz.
Yep, you're right. You're goddamn right, Britton. Absolutely.
Right. Hey, can I ask y'all another off-season burning question? We have to talk about the probably biggest surprise in fantasy, at least on the infield. Geraldo Perdomo for the Arizona Diamondbacks played 161 games. Hit 20 home runs, stole 27 bases, 100 RBI with a 290 average. 161 games with a 290 average. That's badass. What do y'all think? Y'all buying in, or is that just a fluke? Because obviously he's never gone anywhere close to that.
I think Mike wants his other guy to usurp him, though, right?
Jordan Lawler,
your darling.
Yeah, but that's why they moved on from Suarez. I don't know if Lawler gets the starting gig out of the gate, but he's a guy I'm going to be looking at closely again next year. But to answer your question, Britton, I'm in on Perdomo for sure.
He's funny too.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year. I don't think we see as good, to your point, because he's never been anywhere near that in the previous years. But I do think he takes a slight step back, but he's still going to return pretty good value, and he does it all. So in that lineup with Corbin Carroll, hopefully Jordan Lawler takes the next step. You see on the screen here, 2020, 290. I mean, he's a 5-cat stud right there, guys.
Hey, and if you look at StatCast, here's what's elite: squared up percentage, chase rate, whiff rate, obviously with a 290 average, you're elite. K rate, walk rate. So a lot of the metrics are backing this up. So
increased hard hit rate by 6% too. That's interesting. This is a guy I like. Looks like maybe he overachieved this year. So next year would be really interesting to see if he can repeat this. I know Jeff Zimmerman, shout out to him, of The Process. Everybody knows Jeff with his mining the news over there, Fangraphs. He was big on Perdomo a couple seasons ago, I think, as well. And I was liking him, but I didn't expect him to do what he did this year. So very impressive, and
it was
still
awesome.
A little skeptical about 2026. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's like him. Like, who would you rather draft? Like Bryce Terang or Geraldo Perdomo? I think Terang goes
I think this is a clarifying on the guys that you could just pick up.
Ramon
Laureano, who was a useful player this year, no doubt. There's no doubt about it. He was viable. There's guys like that pop up. They always do. A couple minutes left, guys. Other things you haven't hit you want to hit on before we get out of here?
I
got one.
I'm super excited to see you guys. I hope we start doing a little bit more regular off-season shows, because just talking about this gets me all excited and juiced up again.
So hot and bothered.
Yes, great to see you guys, and thanks for everyone that's watching, listening, and in the chat. We really do appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say the closers thing is something I thought we didn't talk about that I wanted to.
Ooh,
a lot of the closers, Hader, Clase, like those are the top two guys off the board, and those guys, we're not going to see Clase in baseball ever again.
Done.
Hader fell off. Yeah, like really quick. I know we only got a couple minutes. Are you guys in or out on drafting? And I know, again, league format and scoring obviously matters here, but like after this year, are you still going after, like, who's the top closer off the board again, if not named Hader? Who's the RP2? that you're taking?
Could
off?
be Edwin Diaz. It could be Munoz. I think he's a free agent, but I can't imagine Seattle's going to let him walk. But so it would be Edwin Diaz, Munoz for Seattle. God, that's a great Duran in Philly. He's probably up there. And super sneaky Roki Sasaki. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Acuna. But Roki is a sneaky player to pick up a little bit later, especially early on in drafts before, people start, thinking about it. But I mean, what if he's the Dodgers closer?
If he ends up being the closer, though, Britton, a lot of dynasty people are going to be really disappointed. They're going to be disappointed because that's not what they're expecting. This guy's supposed to be a starter, a game changer. I like it. It's fun for redraft. Fun. I'm interested. But, reliable closers are hard to find, but a guy like Carlos Estevez came through and was just absolutely consistent all year long. And, there's always a guy out there who's going to – I mean, the one of the year, the big one of the year is Emilio Pagan. That was a huge game changer. Nobody drafted this guy. Yeah, I mean, not in maybe some drafted holds people drafted him. I'm going to concede to that. And I think Mr. Fish himself, one of our old timers, Fish is a great fantasy baseball mind. He's from the Zach Waxman world. He called it, and I think it was recorded on Zach's podcast, the Draft Champions podcast, where he called Emilio Pagan in January. So Fish wins the day for that one. Good job, buddy, because nobody had that.
Yeah, in draft and hold leagues, obviously NFBC leagues, 50-round draft and hold league, you have to draft one of these guys, and you have to reach for them. But unlike your standard head-to-head 12-team redraft, dude, I'm not even sure I draft a closer until maybe my last pick or something.
Ooh,
those guys, because in fab leagues and stuff, closers always come up during the year, always out of nowhere.
It's crazy to think Mason Miller got traded, Mike. Your boy, your main man. He actually got traded. There was a lot of talk for 2 years, and he actually got dealt last year. It's wild.
Yeah, he'll be up there, too.
We talked about it, too, because, is Robert Suarez a free agent?
Oh, I'll check, but it's got to be close. I'll check
But
on
here's
that.
Here's the thing with Miller. For what they gave up, and I'm very big on this, I think somebody brought it up in the chat, F did, I think they possibly turn him into a starter. With what they gave up, I think they have plans of turning him into one. I really do.
Suarez can opt out after this year, apparently, it says on Fangraphs, but he has a contract till 27, but he can opt out after this year. Oh, Ryan Bloomfield here. Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Bubba and the Bloom. Make sure you guys check out their show. They're awesome guys. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
They gave up so much to get him. I think the only way that you return value on what they gave, the number 3 prospect in all of baseball for a closer, I think he almost has to be a starter to return back on that trade. It's a bad
really
trade
hard, though.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
that concerns me a bit.
It does. I don't know.
I mean, they gave all that prospect stock for him when they could have just signed Aroldis Chapman.
What a second half he had, man. That run he had
the most
34 innings.
Radar closer, great year of any closer that wasn't drafted top 10. Was Aroldis Chapman for the Red Sox.
Yep. Will Vest, that's an interesting game. We'll see what the Tigers do next year. They signed Finnegan, I assume, is a free agent, but I'll have to double check that. A lot to know and a lot to imagine. There's so much we didn't even get to, but there's so much more to talk about, which gives us future shows. Very excited about that. And I love getting together with my baseball guys here, Britton Allan and Mike Virginia. I'm Michael Govier, of course. Pallazzo Podcast is always at your service.
Give me 2.
We really appreciate it. 2 weeks from now, we'll be in Arizona. Well, 16 days from now, we'll be at First Pitch, Arizona. It's a wonderful event, live in Mesa, Arizona. It's fantasy baseball all weekend long. We got Arizona Fall League live games. You can go see. Excited. You get to talk to us in person. We get to shoot the shit. Britton's at the bar, cutting loose, sneaking out for smokes, having a great old time.
Absolutely. Shirtless. I don't know if sneaking is the word I would use.
No, you're not sneaking. It's funny. Last year, me and Britton were standing outside, independent of each other last year at the hotel. We were like 50 feet apart. I look over and I see Britton smoking a cig, listening to a podcast, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, oh, what am I doing?
Pissing in the bushes.
That's right. That's happened.
Yeah, he's got a cigarette hanging off his lip. He's pissing.
Exactly. I revert back to that Patty Britain from 1997 for some reason on that trip. I'm not
I love it.
proud of it.
I love it.
Proud of it, but it is a hell of a lot of fun, and I really look.
You
forward.
do you, brother. You do you. Like Brian Bloomfield says, can't wait for the Family Feud. Sam Wershing has been putting it together. We're going to have a great live Family Feud. Saturday night, huge, big haul moment for the Pallazzo podcast. We're going to be doing it, and everyone's going to be involved. It's going to be awesome. Very, very excited for this.
Very pumped.
I'm so excited. So I'm really excited we got to get together. Mike, I'm so good to see your face again. Thank you, brother. Britton,
Yeah, man.
always a pleasure, my friends. We'll be back soon. In the interim, I'll be back in about 10 minutes to do the football show on this very channel. So if you want to talk football, come on back for more.
Tez Johnson, what up? I don't even know who that is.
Tez Johnson.
Is he a
All
Football,
right.
baby.
player?
Yeah.
Hey, wait, real quick, before we go.
Yeah.
To send us off out of the 2025 season, can we end it with the master and commander himself? Britton, take us away, buddy.
Oh yeah, Captain Jack Aubrey. What up, Lucky Jack? You get that French frigate.
Right, lads. Now, I know there's not a faint heart among you. And I know you're as anxious as I am to get into close action. But we must bring him right up beside us before we spring this trap. That will test our nerve. And discipline will count just as much as courage. The Acheron is a tough nut to crack. More than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers. And they will sell their lives dearly. They mean to take us as a prize. And we are worth more to them undamaged. Their greed will be their downfall. England is under threat of invasion. And though we be on the far side of the world, this ship is our home. This ship is England. So it's every hand to his rope or gun, quick's the word and sharp's the action. After all, surprise is on our side.